Kevin, excuse me, Kevin. I would stay in contact with him to find out when they're going to do the couple mows they're going to do.
It's going to be a while, I guarantee you. As long as we have the okay to do it, then we'll make sure to get out.
Yes, yes. And then I don't know what I don't know if you two discussed the trees that are coming out of the fences versus what he already did inside the bike path area.
We're working on an agreement with him.
Yeah, okay, all right.
And then, quick question for you, Jeff. On the parkways and trees, I've been seeing a lot of dead trees. I think winter just killed them this year, and they've been in the ground for a while. Warranty or any type of thing that we can go back on?
There would be warranties. We had a 2-year warranty on the trees that were planted a year ago. If these are smaller trees, I can reference, I have a spreadsheet of which ones.
We're going to talk about finance that, because there's several in my neighborhood I've seen that they just aren't budding. And, you know,
are some of these larger trees?
Yeah. And we may end up having to cut them down and take them off and replant.
They don't know it's spring.
Yeah,
They're taking the winter off.
Somebody over Chinese Elms, I believe they were.
We'll take a drive by and take a
I'll take a drive by and I'll show you a few of them just to get your opinion on, because I'm by no means an arborist. I know nothing about it.
I know some of them have been late budding this year, just because I know it's very super expensive.
It's been really small.
If that's the case, if they're a larger tree, then no, those wouldn't be firewood type of work.
I got 2 Chinese maples in my backyard. They just started budding this weekend, and they're usually already at full bud by this time.
Okay.
So I think
Well, Jeff and I can take a ride and we can go take a look.
Just check them out.
Yeah, certainly, absolutely.
All right, microphone.
I don't know whether to address it to you or to Linda, but I was wondering what the progress was on getting our bike path in. I thought it was going to be in early spring, and we're now mid-spring and haven't seen anything other than some stakes down by Walgreens.
They've been pursuing all the utility movements from ComEd and such, and I know for a fact that Lake County has it out to bid. If you go to the Bid Tools website, you can see the bid on there. And we know that for sure because we got a call here today from a contractor who thought he was supposed to call here about the bid. And so we said, no, you need to contact Lake County Department of Transportation. So the bid will be awarded and the work will begin.
I thought that would have been a long time ago since they knew this was happening. But with better late than never, as they say.
That's how government works.
Except
This is actually pretty much on time. All right. Yes.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
You know Rob, Jeff, I don't know his last name, but he's off in Deer Lake, right up in the corner.
Oh, Rob Anderberg.
Yeah, he works in Mark Grove.
Yes, Gina came in today.
Okay, that's what.
And she brought up the Emerald dashboard.
Yes, okay.
And we're well aware of it. We've, in fact, done treatments for it and continue to monitor it, and Lake County monitors it with us. So we get reports all the time.
I talked to him yesterday, and he was going to pursue getting some of your information.
Okay. We welcome any information we can get.
Did you get a report from Dave Coulter? He was going to give you a quote.
I have not gotten anything from him as of yet.
Okay, one last question. I don't know if this is Jeff or, I'm sorry. Mother's Day, we had a barbecue and the neighbors were over, and as soon as it got dark, all the kids were getting chewed alive by mosquitoes. So we got a plan in place to go to the park, they come in and get ready to start doing catch basins and things like that, because I know it's been wet. Do we have anything going on there?
I sent an email to Clark Mosquito saying that I would want them to certainly schedule the major treatment around Memorial Day weekend. That's usually kind of the kickoff time.
Okay, they were pretty nasty Mother's Day.
Well, and they will be because it's been so wet.
It's been so wet. And, my backyard backs up to the to the wetlands and the bike path. Yeah, kids came back and off time before. So.
Yeah, no, I noticed them out myself.
Didn't know. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Because that contract, I believe, automatically would go.
Yeah, we did a 2-year last.
Yeah, but you still have to keep on them as far as the schedule.
Just for.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're behind in their stores and all that, because again, the weather, but, yeah. Okay,
Anybody else?
we're done with public works. It's good, this discussion is good.
It's good.
All right, now we'll move on to our attorney, Jim Rock.
Thank you. We've been busy preparing temporary construction easement documents for the Cranberry Lake North Condo Association for a project that we're going to undertake, and those should be brought to you within a month or so. Also, working on some personnel matters with Mayor Soto. And then finally, just want to give you a heads up. At our next meeting, I'm going to present to the board for adoption an Identity Protection Act policy. There's a new statute that requires every Illinois public body to have that policy in place. It's essentially to protect employees and others' social security numbers from being discovered by anybody. So we'll be bringing that policy for adoption this time.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Village Engineer Greg Lewin.
Thank you, Mayor. We had our pre-construction meeting with Lake County Stormwater Management Commission concerning the List Drive homeowners project. Contractors posted the performance bond. We've gotten the contracts in place. We've also posted the certificate of insurance, order material, and we expect them to start tomorrow for that project. As far as the Pine View apartment water main extension, we solicited 2 proposals to get this work done. One was from Deemer Plumbing, who's done work in the town before. His proposal was for $47,741. And we also got a second proposal from Elmwood Enterprises, who did the recent work up in Route 120 storm sewer, and their proposal price was $32,360. We'll have a little more discussion on that in the business section of tonight's agenda. As far as the IEPA loan program is concerned, we're moving forward with that particular loan program. On May 4th, we had our public hearing concerning both the sewer and water projects. No public comments were received at that time. We'll be moving forward with the loan application and a couple of resolutions that have to get passed. I'll be coordinating that with the mayor and the village chair.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to reports of standing committees. Finance, Trustee Daly.
Kelly covered by far most of it, which is fine by me. One thing I am going to research, especially now that tax bills are out, people are less than happy. I want to remind people that the village lowered our tax rate. We requested less than we did before, we did in previous years. But I have heard, and I will research this and try to bring a definitive answer to the board the next time we meet, that the quadrennial reassessment is due this year. But I'd like to verify that and maybe give a brief presentation on what that might mean to the village as far as our income.
Okay. I think that's a very good project. Public Works, Trustee Walkington.
Actually, Jeff and Greg do a very good job in my report. Thank you.
Yes, they do.
That's right. I delegate right down.
Got the tie up.
That's right. And string him up after the meeting.
And you look good doing it.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, Public Safety, Trustee Barrett.
A couple quick things. It's getting warmer out. I'm seeing more and more kids out playing in the streets, so people would be kind enough to slow down and pay attention to intersections and stop signs, number one. Number two, the mayor mentioned that we did have a meeting with the Grace Lake Police and the village manager and the rest of his staff. Covered a myriad of subjects of upcoming events. Issues such as, garage doors left open, residences being, unwatched, things like that. So we're trying to put a plan in place what we'd like to do for those kind of instances. And then once again, I gotta remind people to watch the school buses. We had an accident up on Hainesville Road at Bighorn, and while the CSO was handling the accident, the squad car showed up for it, and as the squad car pulls in to handle the accident, the school bus comes by, stops, puts out the stop arm, lights up the bus, kids are getting off, and here comes 2 cars, just boom. right past them. So the squad car takes off and goes off and runs down the stop arm violators. And folks, that's a $500 ticket, which is immaterial if some children, if one of these children coming off the bus gets hurt, and that's something we all have to really pay attention to, especially now, getting more out, we got more and more kids out on the streets. So, not to mention that after you lose your license for 6 months for that, it'll be kind of hard to get to work.
I'd like to let you know, as long as about public safety, the bicycle officers were out this past week. Passed my house a couple times, I thought I was in trouble.
We were.
And
I know the guy.
I escaped. And since I'm retired and can spend some time at home, one day, let's see, I think it was Thursday of last week, in daylight hours, somewhere between 7 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, I saw 3 separate squads, or 3 times a squad passed my house. And now, admittedly, I'm on a busy corner, but I did pretty like.
What are you doing over there, Jerry?
Watching for cops out the windows. I might have missed something during that.
Okay, wetlands and open spaces, trustee Duberstein.
Yes, well, now that the weather is getting good, getting better, lots of things are going on. In the newsletter, you will see that 62 trees were planted around the village.
Oak trees, right?
Oak trees in the last few weeks. Bigger ones along Tall Oak and Centennial, and little ones in the Hainesville Meadow, in the Misty Hill East Meadow, and over in Deer Point, close to, in front of where the Fragmites are, and will soon be gone, hopefully. It's getting near the time where algicide is going to be put in the ponds and mowing. Jeff is doing some, and Dave Coulter's doing the areas that Jeff's mower would tip over, so that's going on. We're going to be spending a lot of effort improving the image along 120 for the village this year with plantings. We took a very short walk along the path, Dave and I, and noticed that that there's yard waste being dumped in the woodlands, so we'll have to put a note in the newsletter about that. And we're having a village-wide cleanup on June 4th from 9 to 12. And we need to have young and old, well, young and not so young, come out and help. Mike Peterson will be the chairman of this event since George and I will be out of town. And you'll see in the newsletter that there are various places where you should meet depending on what part of the village you want to clean up. There's a village meeting at Hainesville and Tall Oak, one at the State Farm place over on 120, and then at the gazebo in Cranberry North, the gazebo
In the townhouse.
in the townhomes closest to Hainesville Road. And we're hoping to have a good turnout for that. And then there will be the open house in the afternoon of the new Public Works building and a cookout. So we would like to have a lot of people participate with all that. I have contacted the National Honor Society for the 2 high schools, and Grays Lake Central said that they're inducting new members and they should be eager to get some community service hours. I haven't heard back from around the area.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. Watch for flowers to get planted and grow and all kinds of good stuff, hopefully.
Okay, next is community relations, trustee Yaronoski.
We met last week, actually 2 weeks ago on the 26th. The main topic of discussion was the next couple of movies that were